Hello there, Oleg. Great to see you progressing through the course. Great to see you taking action and writing essays and really investing the time and the effort and the energy into improving your work. So that's a great start. Let's have a look. Experts throughout both the developing and developed world have debated whether it is better for the ecology and country's economy if people ate local food or obtained it from overseas. So first we change this from got to from because it sounds a little bit more formal. Also, be careful. We're talking about thousands of miles, and overseas is different. So check out you want to research that. Overseas means from another country. It could just be from one end of the country to the other end. This essay will argue both sides. We'll discuss both sides, probably better, using examples from the World Trade Organization and the European Environment Agency to demonstrate points and prove arguments. Excellent. And we've got the capitalization sorted. So great start. Crystal clear introduction. Just two or three minor errors there. On the one hand, there is ample evidence that the export of food, or probably better to say that exporting food, has a great impact on the economy of many developing countries. Essential reason behind this is twofold. Firstly, exports bring bring considerable money into the economy of the country that produces foodstuffs, we can say, or that produces. Full stop is fine. Secondly, it helps to create workplaces. Good little sweet short sentence. It's good to see a variety of sentence length. For example, recent empirical research by the World Trade Organization demonstrated that 80% of all the GDP in Ecuador is supplied by exporting bananas. It must not be forgotten that although the country has to grow up a great amount of this fruit, grow up is for children to adults, has to grow a great amount of this fruit to satisfy the demand. The climate of Ecuador is perfect for this kind of agriculture, and they do not have to use many fertilizers to obtain a rich harvest. So we never use contractions in the formal academic writing. Also, I've read it once or time, is great, where was it now? Great, big, small, good, bad, that's basic vocabulary. And we can enrich that by saying significant, maybe vital, like you've done there. Significant, considerable. There's lots of different adjectives that we can usually use which sound richer and more sophisticated. Therefore, it is conclusively clear that exporting is vital for many countries' economies and the environment. Well, your answer didn't really mention that it's good for the environment, so don't put it in the mini conclusion here. Okay? This is just a purely economic argument, so let's just keep it that way. Therefore, it is conclusively clear that exporting food is vital for many countries' economies. Full stop. Or we could say many countries' economies and employment levels. Yeah? It's probably fine. On the other hand, although there is a case of perfect conditions, just a quick word here. Two conjunctions together, it's okay, but I would avoid that. Yeah. On the other hand, there is a case, or let's just say, although there is a case for perfect conditions for growing some agriculture in exporting countries, the impact of national food production cannot be overstated. This is largely because local farmers support the local economy, helping to reduce the volume of exports. Okay, be careful here. We made a sweeping generalization. Yeah, we should have said this is largely because local farmers usually, normally, frequently, undoubtedly support the national economy by helping to reduce the volume of exports. Moreover, so we've got plural here, and then you said it. Moreover, they can decrease the consumption of fossil fuel. Or, moreover, local production can decrease the consumption of fossil fuel. Okay? Also, did we want to say reduce the volume of imports? Probably, I imagine. For instance, an extensive survey, good, by the European Environment Agency showed that reducing fruit exports in Germany by 50% would reduce the world's fossil fuel consumption by 3% every year. Thus, it is possible to state beyond doubt that consuming food produced by local farmers is I wouldn't have said this, okay, because it's too vague. We're just basically saying that it's better. So we should say that consuming food produced by local farmers is not only beneficial for the economy, it also helps the ecology, or it also helps the environment. Yeah. I wouldn't, because it can't be more preferable for the ecology or the economy, because they don't really have sort of like preferences. Okay, so we need to rephrase it. Food produced by local farmers, thus it is possible to state beyond doubt that consuming food produced by local farmers is more beneficial for the environment and the economy. Full stop. That would probably be fine. Because if we're talking about the environment, we're probably talking on a global scale, which is, yeah, the world's fossil fuel. So we could just say both the environment and the economy. Full stop. From the arguments and examples given, I firmly believe that although food exports can be an essential part of some countries' economies, its impact on the environment is much more important for the whole society. Okay, so how can we rephrase this to be a little bit, to upgrade it? Impact on the environment is detrimental, or is severe, or is, let's see, its impact on the environment is considerably more important for the whole society, as it is predicted that fossil fuel reserves will dwindle in a short time. Excellent. Okay, good work, good work. We didn't really mention that much about the health of the consumers. That's fine though, because we only had to focus on the environment and the economy. Perfect, perfect. Good work, good work. Very pleased with that. Crystal clear paragraphs, solid arguments. Wonderful, great work. Let's have a look at the bar chart. The bar chart shows sales of two chip manufacturers, AMD and Intel, in France over the period of 12 months of the year 2017. Over a period of 12 months, or let's just say in France for the year 2017, because we know a year is 12 months, okay? AMD in France for 2017, full stop. During the first 6 months, both companies had unstable sales. Thus, the amount of ABD's deals transcended, I guess that would be AMD, transcended Intel in February and April with 40 and 10,000 units respectively. Okay, so check your prepositions, because here we had on and it should have been by, and likewise it looks like we've got a similar issue here. Meanwhile, in January, March and May, Intel sold considerably more, significantly more items than the AMD company, or than AMD is fine. Furthermore, in June, no capitalization here. Furthermore, in June, AMD sales were non-essential. Non-essential? No. Non-existent. And Intel reached a peak with 130,000 units. Full stop. Well done though for pointing out the extremes on the chart. That's definitely useful, and well done for grouping the information as well. That's another valuable skill. So well done then. In the second semester of the year, this is a good division of the data as well. First 6 months, next 6 months. Clear, logical, good. In the second semester of the year, there were fluctuations on the second period. It's probably better. I think semesters are 3. In the second period of the year, there were fluctuations as well. AMD exceeded its contenders' sales, or competitors' sales, it's probably more accurate, considerably in July and reached 110,000 units, comma, this because it's nearby, we've just mentioned it, this is nearly 4 times higher that of Intel. Beautiful, beautiful observation, eloquently expressed. AMD was also in the lead in September and October, but the gap between the two companies was not so pronounced, or was not so significant. In its turn, Intel had better sales in August, leading AMD by 30,000, or had better sales, beat AMD in August by 50,000, or whatever it was, okay? Because had better sales, Intel had better sales in August is a little bit too vague. But the most sufficient margin is seen, the most significant margin is seen in November and December, when Intel's sales exceeded that of AMD by 22, I guess, and 3.5. Okay, so I can see what we're trying to do here. But here we've done a comparison of 3.5 times more, and here by 22. Okay, so we should say by 22 and 44 respectively. Okay, or by 2 and 3.5 times respectively. We need to keep that consistent. It's just easier to read. Okay. Overall, there were great fluctuations, significant is better, in the sales of both the companies throughout the year. Over the period of 12 months, the number of Intel's units exceeded that of AMD, but not significantly. Fantastic. Excellent work there. So what I want you to do now, Oleg, is implement all the corrections that you've heard, update your error list, and then send me back your corrected essays, your updated error list, and your 2 new essays, and send it all together in one email, and we're cooking. Okay, have a great day and keep on improving.